In this video, I'm going to hypnotize you through the screen to know your self-worth. I know in life it's easy to let our insecurities get the best of us, to feel like we're not enough. But in this video, I'm going to help you overcome that, know your self-worth, be self-confident and certain in who you are. If you've never seen any of my Hypnosis Through the Screen videos before, I'll link it up above or in the description down below. Definitely check out the playlist of some of the other videos of getting hypnotized through the screen. If you've never been hypnotized before, know that it's very similar to meditation. It's a relaxed, zen-like, focused state where you let yourself become immersed in an idea. The difference is that unlike meditation and hypnosis, you get specific ideas, beliefs, suggestions, in this case to help you know your self-worth and overcome insecurities, where in the process, you'll start to believe it, become it, and create that change. I would recommend putting in some headphones, going to a space where you can be interrupted and make sure you can go through the whole video in one sitting, in one go for maximum results. If you're ready to get hypnotized, without further ado, less talking, more hypnosis, let's jump right into it. I'll have you focus on the sound of my voice. Let yourself take a deep breath in. Let it out. That's right. Focusing on the sound of my voice. Begin to let yourself relax as you allow your eyes to close now. Close your eyes. Focus on the sound of my voice. Because my voice will be what will allow you to experience this amazing state known as hypnosis. That's right. Focus on my voice. Relax more. Relax more the more you focus. That's right. From the top of your head down to the tip of your toes, just let yourself relax. Feeling good, feeling focused. Tuning out any other noises or distractions or thoughts. Simply allowing my voice to become all that matters right here in this very moment. That's right. Take a deep breath in. And now. Sleep. Saying the word sleep doesn't mean you go to sleep. It simply just means you let yourself relax as if you were asleep. And you know you're not actually asleep because you'll always be able to hear my voice. But in this sleep-like state, you simply just let yourself get as relaxed as you possibly can. In fact, as you relax, I want you to imagine this sense of relaxation, this feeling of relaxation, specifically in your eyelids. Let your eyelids get so heavy and so relaxed, they feel tired. Let them feel tired, they feel stuck. Let them feel stuck, they feel heavy. Let those eyelids feel so stuck and heavy that you feel like they won't open, they can't open. And once you've let your eyelids relax to that point, I want you to go ahead and test them out and notice that they become so heavy and stuck that they cannot open. You cannot open your eyes, but you don't have to worry about opening your eyes anymore. Just continue to allow yourself to sleep, relax deeper and further into this amazing state. That's right. Whether your eyes opened or closed doesn't really matter. All that matters is just let yourself sleep, relax. Focus on my voice. That's right. Starting with the number 5, I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. Each number I count down, you go deeper, you go further with every number. 5 into 4. Relaxing all the way down into 3, even deeper, even further in 2. That next number, letting yourself go all the way down, taking all this relaxation, doubling it now into the final number 1. The most relaxed you've been this entire time. Sleep, letting go completely. Sleep, letting go all the way. Sleep all the way down. And as you continue to let yourself relax, I want you to imagine right now, you imagine yourself laying on a big, fluffy, comfortable cloud. Laying on your back on this beautiful, relaxing, comfortable cloud floating through the sky. Imagine yourself peacefully floating, drifting, swaying. And even though your eyes are closed, I want you to imagine that while you're laying on this cloud, you can see the sky passing in front of you. You can see the other clouds. Might even be able to see some stars, maybe even the moon off in the distance as you continue to sleep, floating on this cloud, drifting away. And as you drift on this cloud, I want you to imagine this cloud that you're floating on begins to slow down now. And as it begins to slow down, it comes to a halt, a gentle stop. And as you look straight up into the sky, I want you to imagine that suddenly starting to come into focus is a giant movie screen, a movie projector, almost like a big TV just floating in the sky. You see this big screen. And in a moment, something is going to begin playing on that screen. And I want you to think of a memory. Think of a time in your life where you felt confident, where you felt certain, where you felt completely free, alive, and where you knew your worth, where your insecurities were nowhere to be found, where you felt free, alive, and sure of yourself. And this could be a recent memory from last week, last month, last year, or it could be a distant memory from the time when you were just a little kid. But I want you to think of a time when you felt that confidence, that certainty, that freedom. Think of that memory, and suddenly that memory starts to play on the screen in front of you now. Imagine watching back, like a movie in your mind, this memory playing in front of you now. And as you watch this memory playing from this time where you felt alive, confident, certain, at peace, where you felt free, I want you to imagine this scene, the scenario, the people, the places that you see on the screen in front of you, they start to become three-dimensional. They start to come out of the screen like a hologram, like a projector in 3D, getting bigger and brighter, coming closer to you on your cloud. As you continue to watch this memory, the closer, the bigger, the brighter those images get, the more that you start to feel those feelings that you felt in that past, in that memory. You start to feel now in the present moment. As you're on this cloud, seeing those images get bigger and brighter like a hologram projector coming towards you, even closer now as those images become you and they integrate inside of you, those same feelings you felt during those memories, that freedom, that confidence, that certainty, that feeling of being alive, feeling of being carefree. You could care less about the judgment, about the opinions of others. That feeling inside of you now. And I want you to think of another memory, another time where you felt even younger, an even earlier memory than before. Maybe way back when you were just a really little kid, a time where you felt free, you felt alive, you felt loved. Nothing else mattered. You didn't feel judged. You didn't feel opinionated. You didn't feel misseen or misheard, but you just felt free. You felt alive. You felt confident, and you felt at peace with who you were, and you knew there was nothing you had to do to feel loved, to feel worthy, to feel good enough. Think of that moment, and just as before, starts to play on that screen in front of you now, just as before those images start to pop out of the screen in bright 3D, in bright holograms. Those holograms, those projections get bigger and they get brighter as they get closer and closer to you. And the closer they get to you, the more you feel those feelings that you felt during that time. The feeling that those memories had for you in the past, they now become your feeling in the present. As you feel those feelings, as those images get bigger and brighter and bolder, as they become you now and integrate inside of you now, those feelings where you knew you were enough. You know you are enough. Those feelings where you felt alive because you know you are alive. Those feelings where you felt free because you are free. Those feelings where you felt that nothing else mattered. You were content simply just by being. Nothing more, nothing less. Just your simple existence was all that you needed. Your feeling of being alive. And as you feel those feelings, imagine yourself shifting your focus back on this cloud. I want you to imagine this cloud starts to pick up speed again, starts to move forward again. As you imagine yourself drifting back through the sky, but still feeling and taking with you those feelings that you felt during those memories. Because you know that version of you in the past that knew your worth, that didn't feel insecure, that felt confident, that felt free, that felt alive, that is still inside of you. That is still the person you are today. Your mind is simply good at distracting you. Your mind simply likes to pull out the memories to prove otherwise. It wants to prove a narrative that you aren't good enough, that you aren't worthy, when that narrative couldn't be further from the truth. Because what's true is you are worthy and you always will be. You are enough and you always will be. You are loved and you always will be. And you knew that in the past. You know that now. As you continue to float on this cloud, and once more this cloud starts to slow down, come to a halt, as you once again stare into the sky. Still feeling those feelings from those memories. And as you stare into the sky, I want you to imagine and think of people that you look up to. People that personify success. People that when you think of other people who are worthy, who are good enough, these are the people you think of. Whether it's friends or family or celebrities, people you look up to, fictional characters, or even simply stock images or ideas of what you think success or achievement or significance looks like. And imagine like a collage in the sky, these various pictures of these various people filling your vision in front of you. And as you see all of these people, all of these representations of success, of worthiness, of importance, you can't help but start to compare yourself to those projections, to those images, and thinking about how you maybe don't measure up to these people. And yet, part of you realizes that the projection, the comparison that you make isn't totally quite what it seems. Because as you compare yourself to these people, to these images of what you feel real success is, of real self-worth is, of real confidence is, what your mind starts to realize in this moment is that all you're looking at is the highlight reel. All you're looking at is the good that you imagine in these people. And the only thing you're comparing that to in yourself is the negative, is the flaws, is the imperfections, is the failures, is the confusion, is the growth. You're comparing everybody else's highlight reel to your behind the scenes, which is not a fair comparison at all. When in reality, every single one of these people, these projections that you see that represent success, worth, significance, they all struggle just as much as you do. And in fact, the ones who seem like they don't struggle are simply just much better at hiding it. Because every single person alive, regardless of age, is still figuring out their life. They are still making things up as they go. They still struggle with feeling insecure, not good enough, not worthy enough. Even the people who seem the most confident and sure of themselves sometimes cry themselves to sleep at night. And as you imagine these pictures, these projections in the sky of these people you look up to, these images, these portrayals, I want you to imagine suddenly these pictures shift and suddenly they change, and suddenly you can see what's really behind this facade of importance, of significance. You see the cracks in the armor, you see the failures, you see the things that these people struggle with, the ways that they're insecure about themselves, the way that they're hard on themselves, the way they're still struggling to figure things out, the problems that they have to deal with in life. And you see these things not as a reverse comparison, not so that you feel better about yourself, but so that you can relate. Because all of these people are just like you, and you are just like them. And the fact that you all have flaws, the fact that you have imperfections, the fact that you have failures, the fact that you have doubts, does not make you weak, does not make you less than, does not make you insignificant, does not make you less worthy. It makes you a human being. And it is the fact that you are a human being that gives you worth. Nothing more, nothing less. Nobody is more or less of a human than you are. Nobody is more worthy or less worthy of love, of significance, of life than you are. And you recognize and you start to understand that the comparison that you might have done in the past has simply created an illusion that you weren't good enough. But this illusion begins to shatter when you realize that you are simply comparing yourself to your projection of somebody else. But your projection of somebody else does not account for their own failures, their own struggles, their own insecurities, because everybody has them, and it's okay that you do too. Those things do not make you less worthy. They simply make you human, which which in turn makes you more worthy. And as you understand this truth, as you understand this principle, shifting your focus back to this cloud that you are still lying on, imagine this cloud once again starting to pick up speed and starting to drift and float into the sky, into space, once again staring off into the distance as you see the other clouds pass by you. Still feeling those feelings from those memories earlier. Still understanding the truth and the realization that you no longer have to compare yourself to others, because that comparison was always and always is an illusion. And as you float on this cloud, once again, it begins to slow down and come to a stop as you stare straight up into the sky. And as you stare straight up into the sky, I want you to imagine that you start to see some words forming in the sky. Big, black, bold letters. You start to see the phrase, "The world tells me." And as you see this phrase, "The world tells me," in the sky above you, I want you to think of the things that the world tells you about your worth, about your significance. What does the world tell you about who you are? The world tells you you have to measure up. The world tells you you're not good enough. The world tells you that other people are better. The world tells you that you're not pretty enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. What does the world tell you? What is the world lying to you about? Fill in the blank as you see these words, these ideas projected in the sky above you. The world tells you what? The world tells you this. The world tells you that. And every sentence you see, every example that comes up in your mind, further and further helps you understand that none of them are true. None of what the world tells you about who you are is true. It's simply an illusion. It's simply a facade. It is simply a lie to protect itself. And yet, as you start to realize the things that the world tells you that aren't exactly what they seem, imagine those words, those letters that you see in the sky start to fade away. And where those words were before, the world tells me, is now replaced with, "My soul knows." What does your soul know about who you are? You start to see those examples fill in the blanks instead. My soul knows that I am enough. My soul knows that I am worthy. My soul knows that I don't have to measure up to anybody else. My soul knows that the opinions of others don't dictate my value. My soul knows that I am free. My soul knows that it's okay to not be okay. Continue to fill in the blanks with what your soul knows to be true. Your soul knows this. Your soul knows that. What does your soul know? As you fill in those examples, let it fill in one final time with one final example. Tells you, my soul knows I am loved, and nothing can ever change that. Nothing can ever change that. Nothing can take away your love. Nothing can take away how much you are loved, how much you deserve to be loved. Nothing can change that. Your soul knows that. And if it didn't before, it sure does now. Your soul knows that you are loved and you always will be. Your worth has nothing to do with other people. Your soul knows that you are good enough and you always will be. Your soul knows that you are free. And as your soul knows these things, imagining yourself back on this cloud, continuing once more to drift through space, drift through the sky, floating, drifting, still feeling those feelings from those earlier memories, still understanding the illusion that the comparison of others has placed on you, understanding that it's all a lie, understanding that people are actually much more like you, They struggle much more than you realize. And understanding what your soul knows. Understanding that your soul knows that you are loved, that you are good enough, that you are worthy. Your soul knows that this is true. That it is true. What you feel right now, this peace, this validation, this confidence, this freedom, is you. It always has been. As you continue to float on that cloud, I'm going to count up from 1 to 5. And each number I count up from 1 to 5, you feel less relaxed, less hypnotized, preparing to release yourself from this hypnotized state. When I reach that number 5, start with 1. Gather up all this amazing energy in your body, feeling good in every single way. It's right into 2. Beginning to feel more alert, feel a cool surge of amazing energy flowing through your body. Integrating these truths even further into 3. Knowing what your soul knows. Into 4. Feeling completely confident and certain of your self-worth. Knowing that insecurities cannot and will not ever hold you back. As you get ready to release yourself from this hypnotized state, 4 all the way into that final number 5 as you open your eyes completely, coming out of the hypnosis, feeling good, feeling free, feeling worthy, because you are. I hope this experience was helpful for you. I hope through this process, you really get a better sense and a feel for your self-worth and who you are and the person that you deserve to be, the person you deserve to see yourself as. Because nothing can ever take that away from you. You're beautiful, you're loved, you're amazing, you're incredible, and nothing can ever change that. Remember that if you're struggling, it's okay to not be okay, and you are loved for the imperfect person you are, not the perfect person you might pretend to be. You are worthy, you're enough, you always will be enough. So I hope you enjoyed this Hypnosis Through the Screen video. If you liked it, again, check out the playlist of other Hypnosis Through the Screen videos I have. I have other videos to help for confidence, for anxiety, for sleep, for bad habits, for addictions, for whatever else you might want to help overcome in your life. There are videos for that. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you have suggestions of other Hypnosis Through the Screens you might want to see, leave a comment below and suggest what other videos you might want to see. And if this video helped you, I would love for you to leave a comment and let me know how it helped you. It always encourages and inspires me to see how much these videos mean to you all and encourages me to make more like these. So leave a comment if you found this helpful. And until the next video, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you, and you are worthy. You're enough. You always will be. Till the next video. Goodbye.